All right, this is sort 38 in the Green Book, and we are looking at unaccented initial syllables. So, unaccented means that when we say the word, it's not the part we emphasize. And then initial is that first sound, and then, of course, the syllable is that first part of the word. So, first syllable is what we're looking at. So, I wanted to focus in on that specifically we're looking at unaccented. So, for example, in our word, again, away, we emphasize more the way, the w sound, than the sound. Or because, the emphasis is on the cause. We just say because. And so that is what unaccented means, is that first sound is not where we put our emphasis. And the next part I wanted to look at is that all of these words are going to have the schwa sound. Now, schwa is a sound that's that we have in the English language that makes kind of like an So like away, because. And if I say it kind of like that, sometimes we say because, but when we're saying like, oh yeah, I went to the store because, we don't necessarily pronounce it as b, and so it comes out buh. And then here's another one, debate. So if I'm going to debate with someone, you hear that debate. And that is what a schwa is. So all of these are going to be schwa sounds. As we sort, listen for that. And it's important that you make sure you are saying the words as you sort them so that you can hear these sounds. Okay. So let's go. We have afraid, believe, beneath, beyond. See, Miss L says a lot of these with a B, like beneath, beyond. But it's true that in our English language, a lot of times when we're speaking, we kind of change that sound. Begun, against, agreed, along, between, desire, direct, another, develop, depend, among, allowed, here, degree, defend, divide, upon, and a while. So there is something that you may have noticed already, especially with the upon, but they're not following this spelling pattern. That's because we also have an oddball category, but it starts with the same schwa sound. So a while, upon, allowed. So you hear that and so that's why it fits in this sound, but it's actually going to be an oddball because there's a different spelling. It's not spelled with an A. Similarly, we have two in the D category, the DE category, which is direct and divide. They both start with that divide, direct, but they're spelled with a DI instead of a DE. So when you hear these sounds, you can kind of get a better idea that these are how it's starting, either an A, a BE, or a DE. And then there are a couple oddball ones that we have. So just make sure that you're pronouncing the words and listening to them as you say them. Hear that schwa sound. And again, a lot of these words, especially like because, for Miss L, I always say because. I don't feel like I say, beyond. I don't really think I ever say beyond, like make it a schwa sound, but perhaps some people do, or I do even personally and just don't notice. So just know that even though some of the sounds are a little different, we can rely on the spelling being like this when it's that schwa. And make sure you write down your correct sort and post any questions you have in Google Class.